Hey y'all, it's Kelly Clarkson with Wayfair, where delivery and setup are as easy as a few taps on your phone. Picture this. You're relaxing in an old hammock, scrolling Wayfair's app when you spot it. A brand new patio set. Next thing you know, Wayfair delivers it right to your patio and sets it up. Oh, you need a new grill too? All right, Wayfair's got you covered. With Wayfair's room of choice delivery and fast expert setup on qualifying orders, life gets a little easier. Visit wayfair.com or the Wayfair app.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Do you really know the problem that you're solving for your clients? Stay tuned and find out.
Welcome.
Okay, here's the question.
Serious?
How are we dark horses? You know, the ones everyone is betting against, the ones they don't expect to win, place, or even show on the track, and they'll even laugh on us when we talk about trying. How do we show the world our greatness and triumph?
Come on.
Well, that's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers.
Let's go.
This is The Dark Horse Entrepreneur. My name is Tracy Brinkman.
And push it out.
What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, my Dark Horse friends and family? Welcome back to your weekly dose of client problem-solving learning. I'm your Dark Horse host, Tracy Brinkman, and you, well, that, my friend, is infinitely more important. You are a driven entrepreneur or one in the making. Either way, you're here because you're ready to start, restart, kickstart, or just start leveling up with some great marketing, personal, or business tips and results in order to build that beautiful business of yours into the empire it absolutely deserves to be. Man, we got another big episode today. Today we got Khaled Maziad, who's going to be sharing why it's not good enough to just be good at what you do, why you need to stop focusing on just the product, and why we need to be clear on what it is we are doing, and so much more. He just dropped so many bombs here. Plus, I'm going to let you in on next week's interview episode, a guest who has over 190 credits under his belt, from comedian to actor to writer to director, and so much more. And as per usual, the Dark Horse Corrals are chock full of personal, business, and marketing GOLD spilling from every corner of the Dark Horse Entrepreneur HQ. So let's get to the starting gates and go. All right, my Dark Horse friends and family. Tonight, well, actually, it's today's guest. We were just talking about it's evening here, but it's morning where he's at. Today's guest is Khaled Maziad. Now, Khaled is not just another coach. Now, Khaled is a speaker that helps coaches clearly articulate their value and confidently craft a $3,000 plus no-brainer offer using the psychology of the next step. Now, Khaled has been featured in Fox as being one of the 21 entrepreneurs that we need to know about in 2021. Khaled has also been featured in ANLP, Fox, CBS, NBC, probably all the alphabets that we hear about all the time. Khaled is a professional member of the ANLP, International CIC, which is an NLP organization, ladies and gentlemen. He's a certified master of NLP and holds a degree in civil engineering. Khaled, thanks so much for joining us, and welcome to the Dark Horse Entrepreneur, man.
Thank you so much, Tracy, for having me.
Oh, absolutely. My pleasure. And I think you're probably the third or fourth person from Australia I've had on this show, and it's been a joy each and every time. So I'm setting the framework ahead of time. We haven't even started the conversation yet, right? But I want to shut up my babbling mouth for a minute and ask you to tell your story, the good, the bad, the ugly, that brought you to where you are these days, and why you love doing what you do so much.
Absolutely. So where should I start? So actually, I started. I'm originally from Egypt, by the way, and then I moved from Egypt. This was like one of my early steps, is moving to Qatar. Like I worked there for about 8 years before coming here to Australia. Mm-hmm. And I was a civil engineer my entire life, like just working on sites and helping people build like hospitals and houses and amazing things. But my entire life, you always have this feeling that there is something more than that. It's not just only about that.
Absolutely.
And then I started trading back in 2013. And this was my first thing about investment. And it was new thing for me at that time. And when I started doing that, I started to see that there is more than just numbers in buying and selling and doing this kind of stuff. It was weird. And I started to see I lost a lot of money when I started investing. And this is when I started realizing the importance of mindset. And it's funny because my mentor at that time told me, hey, like you're a good trader, but like you are just you need to calm down. You need to make sure your mindset is right. I said, no, don't worry about this mindset stuff. I'm gonna take care of it. Don't worry. Like, just show me the numbers and just to make sure how to buy, how to sell. And with ups and downs, then I started to realize the importance of the mindset, and I moved to become like a performance coach for traders after that, having my experience and having my struggle all the time. Then when I started to become a performance coach, I realized, like, I thought like, hey, like everyone, when you say like you are a performance coach and you're helping them with their mindset, like everyone gonna say, yeah, I need mindset. This is exactly what I need. And people don't really care. And when I started, and the funny thing that I was like, I wanted to give people my stuff for free, like just take it for free and just come and I will coach you for free.
Sure.
Because I just want to validate the idea. I know it works for me. I know it worked for me. I just want to see how it works for others. So we can validate the thing.
Right.
No one take my stuff for free. Like I give people free, say, oh, okay, thanks. Like they're going to listen to me, they're going to do, but nothing. And this is when I started to learn that it's not just enough to be good at whatever you are. You need to convey the message in a way that people see it valuable. Because yes, you know it is good. You know that it is very valuable for them. You know that people need it. But if you are not able to communicate the message in a way that seems valuable to them, and this is when I started to understand that there is a value and there's perceived value. And I need to align my value or what I believe is valuable or the value of my product with their value.
Okay.
And this is when I started I want to learn about marketing, because I wasn't interested in marketing. I actually, to be honest, I hate marketing and selling. I'm just interested in helping people. And this is when I started, okay, like I have to learn how to sell, like I have to learn how to market. I have to learn this kind of stuff. And I remembered, and this was a weird story. And so several years ago, I had a bad toothache. I woke up in the morning, had very bad toothache. And I did what every man does when we have toothache. I completely ignored it. I said, okay, I'm just going to have some Panadol or something and everything will be okay. And it's going to take a couple of days and to be normal, like toughen up and be a man and this kind of crazy. Yeah, be a man and don't worry. It's just like, and then for a couple of days, I just like taking Panadol, taking like painkillers and said it's going to be okay. It didn't. So 1 week later, my gums started bleeding, my gut and swollen. And I said, I just hanging there is going to be okay. And then I reached the point that I had a meeting and I went to the meeting and I couldn't even talk. Like I couldn't even talk. So I said, hey guys, I have to go to the dentist now. Like this is my last defense. I'm done. I went to the dentist and I went to the guy, say, hey, like I just need to see the dentist. Say, there is no way you're gonna see him today. Like he's very busy. You have to need to have an appointment. I said, there is no way I'm gonna leave from here.
I'll wait here for him.
I will wait here for whatever. And this is what happened. I waited there and I waited there, I think for like 4 or 5 hours. And then eventually I went to the dentist. I went inside and said, hey, I'm really struggling for the last week. I had a meeting. I couldn't talk. As you see, my gum was bleeding. As you see my face, and I need a solution for that. I said, my thing, I think it's just an infection, and all I need is just, like the engineering mind. I'm telling him what to do. Like, I was like, hey,
you're problem solving for him, right?
Yeah. So it is just an infection, and all I need is antibiotic, and it's gonna be okay. So just let me, because I can't buy antibiotic myself. If you can just write it to me, like, it's gonna be great. Thank you so much. He said, okay, like that's great. And can I check it for you? I said, yeah, sure. Like I said, just do your work. He checked it out, and then he looked at me and said, man, like, how long have you been having this? I said, like, it's almost 1 week or two. I said, it started like 2 weeks ago, but like it started going really bad 1 week. He said, yeah. And he said, you think it's an infection and just need an antibiotic? I said, yeah, I believe so. And then he said to me, it's actually not an antibiotic. And it's not just an infection. It's actually something called root canal. And at that time, I had no idea what root canal is. And he started to tell me about like, what are the consequences of the root canal? It might affect your entire teeth and you might lose your teeth. And he said, like, the biggest thing that he said, you might eventually you might have a heart attack because of that. I say, whoa, like I'm just coming here to have like take an antibiotic and go. And then now I became interested. I said, okay, so what we gonna do about that? He said, look, there's something called root canal treatment, and we can do. I was like, when can we start? Like, or how long does it take? He said, yeah, it takes like 2 to 3 sessions, and it depends on what we're gonna find when we open and see. I said, okay, how long does it take? And he said, if we book an appointment today, we're gonna start like in the next 3 days, but because we need you need actually to have an antibiotic and all of this stuff just before we
get that infection down first.
Get that infection down first. And because that, I said, okay, how much does it cost? It costs that much. I said, okay, like sign me up. And then if you see the sequence of everything, like this guy actually didn't sell me anything.
Mm-mm.
And this is when I started to think, I said, imagine like this guy actually make me interested. And this is when I started to come up with a formula, they call it the NTBT, which it's not this, but that, which when you go with a belief with something is instead of telling people, like buy this stuff, no, this is stuff. He said, it's not this thing, it is that thing.
Okay.
And this is when I started to understand that. But then it became like this was my starting point to understand that there is a different way, and selling and messaging is not just about pushing or just trying to sell or just saying I'm having the best product. It's more about changing the belief and presenting a new problem.
Okay.
So this is how it all started.
That's how it all started. So you got on this new path as the result of a toothache, everybody. Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to say that's probably the only time someone's ever told me that their new career path started as a result of a toothache. Usually people stop their career path as a result of toothaches, right? They're like, I got to do this. No, that's really cool though. I mean, and actually I heard a couple of things I want to loop back around to. One is while you were trading, you started seeing, patterns in the numbers, right? So obviously it seems to me you have a mind that identifies patterns probably pretty easily. Would that be a fair thing to say?
Yeah, it is. Like some of my friends called me the pattern guy because it comes so for me it's so natural to see patterns, and this is even when I was doing the performance coaching, it was really clearly to me. Now, when I talk to someone, I can see the pattern of what they are doing. So I'm doing this, and I say, hey, like your problem is there. Like this is what you are doing wrong. So I could easily like spot the pattern on things. And this is what actually, when I started trading, that was the thing like pulled me into it. Like I said, like, look at the charts, and especially the technical part of trading, like, and when it comes up, when it goes down, and when this happen, and like this, like the pattern is, and then I took it to a new level to look at like behavioral patterns. So it wasn't just about numbers. And this was the most amazing thing. Like it just to understand that behavioral patterns, whether it's like in trading or whether like the human behavioral pattern in everything we do. And now it's in the psychology of selling, especially in high ticket sales.
Absolutely. I think I'm from a planning background, so I know all about the number patterns and a bit of a number geek myself, not at that same level, obviously, but certainly when you start watching the numbers, it's like watching people, right? If you watch with curiosity is probably how I'll phrase it, you'll see patterns emerge, either patterns in body language, patterns in breathing patterns, patterns in the actions they take or the actions they don't take, right? And those become really telltale signs, certainly in the coaching arena, become very, very helpful, I would imagine. Do you find I want to go into this mindset thing, but I know one of the big things around mindset that I see a lot of people struggle with, and I know I have fought it off in the past myself, is this whole imposter syndrome, right? And whatever it is, hey, maybe you got a new job, you're the boss, you're leading people, whatever the scenario happens to be for anyone that's listening. Is imposter syndrome around mindset, or yes or no?
It's to be honest, for me, it's not a yes or no answer.
Okay, hey, those are even better.
Yeah, it's gonna be deeper than that because there are different perspectives that I can look at imposter syndrome.
Okay.
One of them is actually not being clear on what you're doing from some perspective. So because sometimes, especially in coaching, some people think I need to know everything in order to help people with something. So I need to know everything, and being not clear make them say, okay, like what if someone had this problem? What if someone had that problem? Mm-hmm. And being not clear on what's actually your role with them and what actually what is actually the problem you're solving. Mm-hmm. Because most of the time people think I need to know everything about everything in order to talk to anyone. All you need to do is just knowing the problem you're solving. You're not, actually people don't care about the product till you convey to them that you really understand the problem first. Remember the dentist story?
Yeah.
I wouldn't care what he was talking about unless he told me that actually the problem that I'm having is something that I couldn't understand. Mm. So going back about imposter syndrome there is part of it, great part of it might be mindset, but I believe there is a great part of it actually is being not clear on the problem you're solving, on what you're doing. The second part of imposter syndrome is like, all the stories that we have when we were young. Like, mm-hmm. I had one of my amazing teachers in the school told my mom, actually she didn't tell me, around like I was 8 years old or something, and mm-hmm. she told my mom that your son is a hopeless case and there is no way on planet Earth he gonna make it in any way. And I would highly suggest that you stop investing your time and money on him because there is no way he's gonna make it.
Oh my gosh.
And imagine like you're saying that to a mother, like,
yeah,
to a little kid.
Them's fighting words.
And my mom listening that, like, then my mom and my dad decided to do whatever it takes
right.
to make me make it. But again, like growing up with those kind of narratives in our head about, okay, like you can't do that. You can't do this. And we are all like crazy in a society that we don't encourage people to take risk. We don't encourage people to do new things. We don't encourage people to try something different. We are always doing exactly the opposite. The devil we know better than the devil we don't know. Why do you do it now? Who are you to do that? Who are you? So
how dare you?
Exactly. How dare you? Like, and what do you know about this to do that? Like, are you like certified on this in order to do that? And you like, what are your certificates and like, what are your qualifications about this and that? And we make people think about, and you're going to find most of the stories around imposter syndrome, like, who am I to say that? It's going to be the same thing that we are just echoing what everyone is saying. Who am I to do that? Who am I to do that? I don't know that much. I need to be certified. And then you're going to find people are getting certified, like having 30 certificates or something, and they have no idea.
Right. And they still feel like an imposter because they still have those people in their ear, either actively or inside their head, because they're not looking at their own value. It's probably how I would put it, right? Go ahead.
Another thing that when I look at it, like, when you are driving at night mm-hmm. and you can't see the whole way, like you can't see the whole road. Nope. All you can see is just like 7-10 meters in front of you, and mm-hmm. this is all you need. And this is all, and this is where, like, when I call it the psychology of the second step or the next step, it's just to do the next smallest step in front of you, and this is all you need. Yes, don't get me wrong. Have a plan. I'm a planning guy. Yes. Have a plan for whatever you want.
Absolutely.
But be flexible to change it. Be flexible. Be open to that.
That's actually a great analogy. That's and you can actually use that for the whole coaching arena, right? Hey, I don't have to be 87 miles in front of you. Actually, it may be harder if I'm 87 miles in front of you because I almost forget where you've been. A lot of people do, right? I'm just a little bit ahead of you, and you can follow my lead, and I can see a little further than you, but you just need to be able to see my taillights, right? And then we'll go down the road together. And if I stop all of a sudden, you're probably going to want to stop too, because there's something in the way that we've got to traverse around or over or
Absolutely.
under.
And as long as I'm driving, I'm getting more clear.
Yes.
I'm getting more information, because as long as you are driving, you're seeing new information. You're getting new information. This is why I tell people, yes, have a plan, but be open to change the plan, because the plan that you have right now is for the information and the knowledge that we have right now.
Right now.
I have no idea after tomorrow what I might have new information that's going to change my entire plan.
Yeah.
That's going to change everything, because I know what I know now.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe after tomorrow, I'm going to learn something new. That's going to completely shift my mind and say, you know what? I have been learning this and I have been teaching. And this happened to me sometimes. And people going to say, you changed what you have been teaching. You have been saying that for so many years. Why did you change it? I said, because I learned something new, because I'm evolving. And as I'm evolving, you are evolving with me.
And I think there's a great point right there. So, and I'm going to spend just a minute or two on this. So
sure.
I had a gentleman who I was following. I was, kind of, he was mentoring me, and I was watching him going along, and he was saying, hey, this thing is awesome. Right. Well, I won't name names, but this thing is awesome. And I'm like, okay. And I'm going and trying this thing. Everything's going great. And I'm like, okay, it's kind of cool. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, he says, this thing sucks.
Was it Bitcoin?
No, it wasn't Bitcoin. It wasn't Bitcoin, luckily. But and there was no transition, and then there was no which I get it, right? We get new knowledge. We get new experiences, and we change our minds. I'm not the same I was when I was 15. I made some stupid decisions when I was 15 because I didn't know, and I know now. But for me, the incongruency that I felt was there was no explanation. All of a sudden, and I say all of a sudden, it was probably 4 weeks. It was probably 4 weeks later. So somewhere along the line in that 4 weeks, he experienced something that turned him off to this thing, but he never explained it openly in the same arena. Oh, go ahead.
This is, I think, the reason why, because we are actually not open to change. We feel this resistance because, now I changed my mind, and now I need to explain to people why I changed my mind. And we have the idea that the changing your mind, like, hold your grounds, like don't change your mind,
right.
Don't do this, don't do that. So we actually have this story and narrative about, if you change your mind, that means you're not stubborn. That means you're not good. That means that you are not really convinced. You are not really buying in what you are doing. And by the way, I was that person myself. However, I learned that that's actually a stupid thing to do, because, and I'm saying that out of love and respect, because I decided whatever I have decided based on some information that I had at that time. And I made this decision at that time, or I made this plan at that time. And that was my best knowledge, at that time.
Right.
Now it's my obligation. If I told you something and I gained new information about it, or I changed my mind, it's my obligation to tell you, hey, Tracy, I was thinking that this thing is a good thing.
Right.
I don't believe that anymore. But I also need to tell you an explanation. I said, hey,
agreed.
I believe in that now. And the reason why I believe in that, I saw like a statistics, or I saw like a new information. I got a research that suggested that this thing is bogus and doesn't work anymore.
Right. Here, ABC 1, 2, 3. Here's why I think that now. I get it. And if it's working for you, Tracy, keep doing it. It's awesome.
Absolutely.
But it's not working for me, so you'll see me stepping away from it. I totally get that. But that's why I was engaging in this conversation piece, was like, it was just that there was a mind switch, there was a change of opinion, and that's fine. But I think the lack of explanation left me kind of like, okay, what was that about? And then what really scares me is like, if you're like that about this, what are you like about that? About other, you start questioning things, right? And you don't want to do that if there's no reason to, but certainly if you find that reason, you're like, okay, now I've got to question everything you've been telling me, because you know what I mean?
Absolutely. explanation is important, at least even if it's just an experience. Like
Exactly.
like I say, I had this experience. I had, like, by the way, I had no clue. And sometimes I say I had no clue. Like, I'll tell you something. I had some of my very, whatever you call it, experience that I'm like, at that time I wasn't meditating or doing anything. And I was just doing some breathing exercise. I was on a cruise and doing breathing exercise. It was just laying down and breathing. And I had this weird experience that I couldn't explain, till this point, that I felt that I started to breathing in tune with the sound of waves that was there at that time.
That makes sense.
And at that time, something happened to me that I felt like the time collapsed. Something crazy happened that I didn't understand. I didn't feel my body for like few seconds. And I went into this experience. I had no explanation to it. I'm not trying to say like I had anything or I'm having connections with anyone, or I'm talking to people that you can't see or anything.
Sure.
I have no clue. But all I said to people, I said, hey, I had this experience. I'm not sure what it is. I have no explanation for it. And I'm not looking for explanation to it. But I just had this experience. It looks like when you do this thing, there's something happen. What it is, they might find out later. I can't prove it with science. I can't prove it with anything.
Right.
All I'm telling you is experience. And this is sometimes it's just enough.
Yeah.
It's tell people, hey, and this is why I'm changing my mind about this thing. Maybe this consciousness meditation thing, there is something behind it. Maybe it's not. I'm not sure. I'm just sharing my experience.
Right.
And I believe people are going to respect you more when you do that, even if they don't agree. And by the way, like there are many, like so many of my mentors or my coaches that I don't completely agree with every single thing they said. And that's okay.
That's okay.
We don't need to agree with, I think we still have this when we make someone like an idol and say, hey, like put this guy on the pedestal and I have to follow every single thing he said. And if you change it, his mind, you know. And this is why I believe there is an obligation to tell the reason, even if it doesn't make sense. Say, hey, like I just had this thing. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right.
Sure.
I don't know. But for me, this is what I. Another thing about changing your opinion. It's I believe also is the stage where you are right now. Like when I started, I might use something that doesn't make sense to use right now, but it makes sense to teach it to someone who is just starting right now. So when I started, I used to working for free for people first. So I tell them, hey, like, I'm going to do this. So you're going to, it's not just people say it now, oh, you're going to work for free so you can get testimonials. It's not just about testimonials. It's more about you validating the idea.
Yes.
Is what you are doing is working? Is actually or not? Are you able to teach or not? Because some people are very, like maybe something worked really good for you because of some weird circumstances. If you don't try it on others, you will not know if this thing is actually working for others.
Right.
Second thing, you don't know if you have this talent or skill, which you can develop, of course, to teach others, to convey ideas, to show them how to do things, to give them the why and what and how to do things. Right. So I believe it also stage might be the thing. So I might tell you, hey, like I'm not actually doing this now. But actually, I believe that, as you said, is explanation is important. Sometimes you need just to explain to people.
And I think on the teaching thing too, I've seen folks that, of course, I've been doing this a long time. I've seen folks that could pull people into a small group, 5-6 people, and then teach what it is they were teaching. But as time went on and technology evolved, they tried to take the same teaching and put it into, say, a digital format. And they're like, no, why is nobody getting it? And I think it's those little nuances about them, being face to face, standing next to someone, and they give their lesson. And then they get asked questions and they answer those questions, and someone else asks a question and they answer those questions, but they didn't necessarily put those extra answers because to them it seems so, everybody knows that. They didn't put those into their lessons. So they're missing that step. Does that make sense?
It does. And that will, let me talk. Remember when we were talking about the dentist story?
Yes.
Most coaches are experts in root canal problems. So we talk root canal language. However, people don't know what root canal is. They know that I have a pain in my teeth. I can't sleep, I can't eat, I can't talk.
Right.
And this is what I know, which we call the symptom level problems. And I believe this is the biggest thing. This is one of my biggest aha moment was we are all coaches. We are experts at root canal problem. We are experts at root canal language. We tell people, hey, because we are for them. Let me give you an example. Imagine that, remember the dentist story. Imagine at that time I saw 3 ads and all of them are giving me the same offer. It's going to be a free, I'm just going to make it the same offer. So just to show how the language is going to change. So the same offer going to be free, free appointment with the dentist.
Sure.
The first one is telling me, hey, would you like the $1 million Youre smile? Where your teeth gonna be shiny and you're gonna smile and you're gonna show you all the bright teeth and all the amazing things. And if you would like that, book an appointment below. It's free in the first day.
You're now listening to the Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
The second ad gonna show you, say, hey, I am the #1 root canal expert. And root canal expert is so important. And here's why you need to do root canal. It's gonna affect your teeth, it's gonna affect your body, it's gonna affect your heart, blah, 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 or the vital organ. In order to solve this problem, you need to book an appointment. And by the way, it's free, the first one. Okay. Sure. Also, the third ad going to tell you, hey, are you tossing around in bed? You can't eat, you can't sleep. You tried all the home remedies you can imagine. You tried water and salt, you tried mouthwash, and you tried everything. And you might be thinking it's actually like an infection. It might be an infection, it might be not. But the only way to verify that is to book an appointment with us for free to check. And our dentist is going to tell you. At that time, imagine which one would I have picked? And all of them are giving me the same offer. So it's at this stage, it's not about the offer. It's a free consultation. Which one would I have picked?
Yeah, you're going after the one that solves your problem.
Exactly. And this is when sometimes when we tell people, say, hey, you are doing amazing, but I want the pain to stop. And you're telling me, I want you to have the dream of your life. I don't need the dream of my life right now. I just need that. I
need the pain to stop.
I need the pain to stop, just to stop my pain. And this is you can say this is like a simplistic way to talk about the market sophistication also. Sure. However, think you need to understand where are the people you are talking to. Mm-hmm. They have pain. Most people are having pain and they want the pain to stop. Yeah. Talking about I talk sometimes to relationship coaches and mindset coaches, and they had the same problem that I had before. I want people to fly and have the performance of their life and have the life of their dream. And people saying, what the hell does it mean? I don't understand what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I have a problem. But when I started to change the language from high promise thing is to pain. Mm-hmm. Do you want to stop this pain? Now this is not again, because I know some conscious people gonna say, okay, but that means I'm eliciting fear, and that is not and this is why I hate marketing, because people try to elicit fear. And I say, no, it is not. It's actually raising awareness.
Yes.
If I gonna see my son putting his hand on the fire, I'm not eliciting fear in him. If I'm gonna tell him, if I'm gonna tell him, hey, do you know that if you put your hand in the fire, do you know Alex, our neighbor, his son put his hand on the fire and it got burned, and then they went to the hospital and they had to wrap it and he couldn't use her hand for 3 weeks.
Right.
Do you want to do like that? Now I'm not eliciting fear in him. I'm just trying to raise his awareness that if he is doing that, he's gonna have a problem. So it's also more about your intention when you are saying it. I might say it in a sleazy and slamsy way and doing, hey, if you don't do that, you're gonna do this. It's you're trying to raise awareness. Hey, buddy, if you put your hand on the fire, this is gonna happen. And it happened to Alex, our neighbor. He put his hand on the fire and that happened. And this is why we tell them. And when you put it that way, in a way they can understand. Now they think, okay, these guys might be, he's getting me. He's talking about actually my problem.
Right.
There is a connection there. Mm-hmm. He's not trying. And when you do that, you don't need, and this is another thing, because people think I need to put an outlandish claims there, and I need to do you want to make 9 figures? Do you want to make $3 million in 3 seconds without doing anything, even if you just started? I had a funny post that I shared, like, I didn't record any video on how to make $1 gazillion in 3 femtoseconds without doing anything, even if you have never did anything before, which is like, most people think like, if I don't have like a big claim that people, you actually, if you have like something very specific and very clear about, hey, if this dentist just said at that time, all I'm gonna help you with is just stopping the pain, and this is what this is all I wanted.
Right.
I just wanted this pain.
Button. Yes.
This pain to stop. You got me. You got my attention.
Yeah.
All I need. Now, after that, you need to do something that he did, which is, I think the first time I heard it was from Todd Brown. It was the knowledge gap. When he started presenting a new problem.
Yes.
When he said, and this is when I came up with the formula. It's not this, but that. It's not actually like an infection that needs just an antibiotic to go. It's actually something that's called root canal. Now he changed my misconception about the problem. But guess what also, Tracy, happened here? Now you are presenting a new problem. And once you are presenting a new problem, guess what I wanted to do? I want a solution.
The solution, yeah. I think really, and I'm sorry to cut you off there. Right. I think what was really interesting there is right. I don't think he presented you, and if we're speaking about your dentist, he didn't present you with a new problem. He presented you with the real problem.
Absolutely.
You came to him with the symptoms. I'm in pain. My gums are bleeding. I can't talk. Those are all symptoms of your real problem. So then he filled that knowledge gap, like you were talking Todd Brown does, right? That knowledge gap of, okay, that's not really the problem. Those are the symptoms of this problem called root canal. And here, let me educate you a little bit. And here's how I can help you with that problem. But I even think you're right with, if you're talking about those, if we go back to those 3 offers that you were talking about, that third one, if they didn't even mention root canal, if they would have just said something like, are you in pain? Do you want that pain to go away? Yeah, you don't even have to mention root canal. Just say, your teeth hurt. Can you not talk? You can't eat. You can't sleep. Book a call. Book an appointment, whatever. You'd be like, oh, that's me, right? And you'd be clicking that button, right? I think one of the things I heard inside of there, and I've seen a lot of people fall victim to this. I'm going to raise my hand because I've been there too. Is people want to, both hands, right? People want to solve all the problems, and it's like I help people with podcasts, right? And they're saying the first thing you ask them, or I ask them, is who do you want to target? Well, I want to target all the moms. Okay, well, that you can't target all the moms, right? Well, do you want to engage all the moms? Yeah, but you can't target all the moms because that's the shotgun approach. If you had to use a sniper rifle to tag one mom, tell me what that mom is all about, right? You've got to get that laser focused. I'm going after your tooth pain that you can't sleep, right? So now I know the person is someone that's in pain, rather than I'm going to give you a beautiful, shiny smile, right?
Yes.
Does that make sense?
It does. And let me get back when we were talking. You are absolutely right. He's presenting the root cause of the problem. However, it's a new problem for me because I have no clue.
That's a good point. No, that's a very good point.
And this is actually what you want to do, is presenting them the root cause, which fill the gap with that. Now, talking about the second point, which is I want to target mom.
Yes.
I was in a place that I was targeting traders, which sounds like a very clear, specific niche.
Right.
But then I discovered that wasn't even enough. Just targeting those people, just even like from the outside, it seems like I'm very clear and have a very clear market and very specific. And then I realized there are 10 things that I need to know about my ideal client, whatever they call it, or perfect client, whatever you would like to prefer to call it. That if you have those 10 things about your market, before you have an offer, before you have anything, you can't do anything before knowing that. The first thing that we need to know. Yeah.
You're going to share those 10 things, right? You can't tease me like that. Yeah, please do.
I would love to. The first thing is we talk about the symptom level problems, so the pain points / symptoms.
Okay.
Not the root canal problem.
Yes.
It's that you can't eat, you can't sleep, you're tossing around in bed, your gum is bleeding. This is a problem. So see in your market, how do they describe it? Don't jump into the root cause, because we are all knowing the root cause. Now, my secret word for everyone here, when I say root canal, that means the root cause of the problem.
Yes.
So the root canal problem is not their problem. Yes, it is for you. It is because you're an expert, because you know what is the root cause. For them, they don't. They have no clue what it is. They think, all I know that I can't eat, I can't sleep, my teeth is bleeding. This is what I do. This is what I know. And you need to know in the way they are explaining it. How do they explain it? How do they say it? This is the most important thing you can do. They don't say, I have a root canal problem, unless they know what root canal is. But most of the time, they don't.
Right.
They know that this. So this is the first thing we need to know. The second thing is we need to understand what they want from their perspective, not from our perspective. Not what you want to teach, what they really want. So talking about the dentist story again, I wanted the pain to stop and become normal human being, just to eat, to sleep, to talk.
Right.
This is all I needed. Maybe I'm going to think about them. $1 million for you to smile later. However, what I needed this moment, it's just this pain to stop, just to treat this pain. This is all I wanted.
Right.
And at that time, again, if someone because some people think, okay, if I don't have offer, some people now offering and you know that Tracy now, the 6 figures in 6 weeks and blah, blah, blah. The 7 figures in 7 weeks, the multi, now they changed it by making the multi 6 figure, not only 6,
Yes.
The multi 7 figure, so when you say multi, it's going to be different. And it's amazing when you see people say, are you serious? So what people actually want at that time is, I want more clients for you if they want. If in your podcast, the people needs to go out there and share the message with more people. They want to be here for larger audience. If I can help you to do that, they want to know what actually they're going to say in the podcast. I have no clue what I'm going to say. I have no clue how to really start a podcast. I'm overwhelmed. Which gear I'm going to buy? You can't, if you talk about that, this is actually what people are thinking about. It's not how I get Gary Vee in my podcast.
Right, exactly. Right.
This is going to be a very big problem in the future. I might think about it. But right now, I just want to know tell me the first couple of things that I need to learn.
Right.
Yes. And then there's going to be a stage when I'm going to tell you, okay, how to get great people in your podcast, how to book, how to automate it, how to scale it, how to do this. Yes. It's just to start with where people are. And again, when you know where are your people, you're going to know what they really want in their language. So when someone comes to you, what they actually want, listen to them and give them what they want. That doesn't mean you will not give them what they need. And this is very,
absolutely.
Please, I'm not trying to say, hey, just to give them what they want. And no. Tell them what they want, because this is what will get them.
Yes.
And then you as an expert, as a dentist, you're going to do the root canal problem. But what actually they need is, I need the pain to stop. Whether you're going to do it like a root canal thing, whether you're going to do a surgery, whatever you're going to do, just do it.
Don't scare them away.
Don't just scare them away. Tell them, hey, if you want this pain to stop, yes, I want. Okay, let's do it.
Right.
I'm going to do this. And then we educate them and tell them.
Okay.
The third thing that we need to understand, what are their frustrations, what they are frustrated about. They might be frustrated about, I tried all these things and it didn't work. I'm frustrated about those people who are putting outlandish claims out there. I'm frustrated about being the market is very crowded and I don't know which one to trust. I'm frustrated about all the gurus who are showing what are they frustrated about? Frustrated about that I couldn't, in the dentist story, I'm frustrated about that I really can't eat and sleep this. It's so frustrated. I can't even talk. I can't having a real life human being. I'm frustrated about that.
Right.
So you need to understand in their language, again, in their language, not in our language, not what we think the problem is, not what we think they think. Ask them, what are you frustrated about? Oh, I'm frustrated about that. And you don't need to ask them, by the way, what you are frustrated about, because they're going to tell you. If you just start a conversation with them, they're going to tell you.
Yes.
And it's going to be your job just to, fill the blanks. The fourth thing, Tracy, is the most important thing that you need to understand about your market. And the reason why, because this thing going to define what you're going to include in your offer.
Oh, magic.
And it is what they have tried before and didn't work. Why this is important? It's important for two reasons. The first one, to make sure you never include what they have tried before they work in your offer. And if you are going to do that, you need to explain to them why what they have tried didn't work for them before.
Right.
And using your thing, it's going to work.
Got it.
So it didn't work before because you actually did it like that. It's actually, you should do it a different way. Right. So if, let's imagine that I'm going to give it like, your people are going to most understand about ads and Facebook ads. If I'm selling something about Facebook ads, Facebook ads is not a new thing.
No,
I might have tried Facebook ads and didn't work before. So if I gotta teach someone about that, I said, hey, you tried Facebook ads, didn't work before. The reason why it didn't work before, because you actually haven't validated your message before you go to, and this is why it didn't work. Or you actually, the reason why it didn't work, because you chose the target, the wrong target, or you chose the wrong people, the wrong audience, or you're too broad, the message wasn't right, the copy, like you need to tell me why it didn't work.
Got it.
Otherwise, you need to tell me, hey, like it didn't work. And here's a new thing. Here's why it didn't work. In my dentist story, I tried home remedies. I tried to stop the pain. I tried painkillers. I tried things and it didn't work. So imagine if the dentist is going to offer me at that time, hey, I'm going to give you a painkiller. Like, man, I have been eating painkiller for the last 2 weeks. Like, so tell me something different.
Right.
So don't be obvious and don't give them what they have tried. So you need to understand what they have tried.
Sure.
Even before you make your offer.
Yes.
Because this is going to define what you're going to do. The fifth thing they need to understand is the misconception. What their misconceptions? What the beliefs that they are wrong about things that you have. For like in the dentist story, they have a misconception that it's just an infection. It's going to go with antibiotics. Mm-hmm. There might be in your market the misconception that I need to be popular, well known before I do a podcast, or I need like to do like this, or I need to be like a 6-figure or 7-figure before I do that. And then you're gonna say, hey, that doesn't make sense. You don't need actually to do that. We need to start somewhere. We always start with, I need like in coaching, I need to be like for people who are starting. I need to know like everything in the way on the 100 miles before I start walking like my first steps. And then you say, yeah, you don't need to do that.
Absolutely.
And this is very important because when you change, this is the stage when you change their beliefs, you're going to say, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So now I understand. Now this guy understands me, because you need to change their beliefs first before you start presenting their offer, or before you sell them anything. And by the way, when I'm talking about selling, like it's about anything. Yes. Anything you're doing is selling. Because ideas are selling.
Absolutely.
I need to sell my kids on me to listen to. Exactly. I need to sell my kids on the food to eat it. Like
you had to sell yourself on your spouse or your girlfriend.
Absolutely. And the best sale of them all is going to be selling yourself on yourself. Just a side note. You need to sell yourself on your offer and what you are doing in your mission, on whatever you are doing. This is the best sales of them all.
Absolutely.
Now, another thing we need to understand is the stage where they are. And this is so crucial. And when I say the stage, I look at it from 2 points. One is the severity of the problem, how severe the problem is. And the easiest way I look at this is red, green, and red and yellow and green. Green, that means they know. They remember when I had the dentist story? Mm-hmm. I woke up and I had a pain. I had a toothache, but it's okay. Like, like I'm not gonna die or something. Like it's okay. Now, after 1 week, I start to become yellow, because now I start to realize, like there is pain that doesn't stop. And I start to take painkillers and started to swallow, and there's something wrong. But I hanging there, but yeah. But red, when I went to the meeting and I couldn't talk, I said, no, okay, like I have to do something about that now. This is red. And the second thing is the urgency. How urgent, and they are both connected, is the urgency and the severity of the problem. They are both connected, but you need to understand where they are, because our job is to raise the awareness from if they are green or yellow, we need to move them to red.
Right.
It's going to take some time for some people. So you need to understand also, this is going to be, if someone is starting out, they might not be, for some people, not for everyone. For some people, they might not be your ideal client.
Right.
Because they think they're going to figure it out.
Right. They're not ready for you yet. Yeah.
You are not ready for you yet. And your job is not to elicit fear. You're trying to raise their awareness. Here is what's going to happen to you. It's going to be like that. And here's the stage. You are moving that.
Yeah, absolutely.
After that, there are something I call the consequences. What if they didn't do anything about it? What if they didn't solve the problem? You're going to tell them, hey, buddy, if you don't solve this root canal thing, it's going to spread in your entire mouth and you might lose your teeth. And even worse, you might have, like, it might go to your other vital organs like your heart, and you might have a heart attack. So now, I'm not trying to elicit fear. I'm not trying to use any of this stuff. I'm trying just to raise awareness. Hey, this is going to happen, or this is what happens to people when they don't do that. I'm just telling you.
Right.
So I'm not trying to push you. I'm just point the facts.
And in some cases, and I've seen this done well, where they say, well, what happens if you don't do this? Well, maybe it's nothing. But it's going to be the same thing. You'll be in the same spot 12 months from now, doing the same thing you're doing today, working, whatever else. And for some people, that's a worse consequence than having a toothache. They're like, oh God, I'm going to work in the same job. I'm going to be the same position I'm in. That's not a consequence I want to deal with, and then they start moving forward. So consequences aren't necessarily always to me, they're not always the worst case scenario. No. Sometimes it's just staying exactly where you are. And if you're not happy where you are, right?
Absolutely. Why are you staying there?
Yeah.
And why don't you take action now? Because again, all we are trying to do here is we are trying to raise their awareness. And again, we are trying only to help them to make a decision. Whether they're going to say yes or they are going to say, it doesn't really matter.
And
we are just trying to help them make the decision. Say, hey, whether you're going to do this or not.
Yeah, absolutely.
Number 8 is the pressing problem. And this is like, what is the straw that's going to break the back of the camel? Like in my story, in this, in the dentist story, I went to the meeting, I couldn't talk. And this is when I am out of function. I can't live like that. Now it starts affecting my personal life, which I was okay for a while, but now it's affecting my professional life, and I can't do that. I have to take an action. In my previous story about like when I was a performance coach and I moved from someone like who couldn't give you stuff for free, like to charge after that 5 or 10K, my pressing problem that I told people to take my stuff for free and they couldn't take it. And they said like, man, this is crazy. Like how you can give something so valuable and it's value, and people gonna say no to that. And I felt like so humiliated at that. I felt so humiliated. Like I said, there is no way, man. Like, how do you know that you're giving something that's so valuable that people need it and they don't take it? And this is when I started to learn about that. I need to understand that. And that's like when everything like it came about was sleazy and cheesy and everything, and they hated marketing.
Sure.
However, I found a way to make this authentic. How to make it authentic, how to do it without eliciting fear, how to do it without trying, how to do it like in a heart-based way or heart-centered way, to do it in a way that feels like you without like all the
sleaziness,
sleaziness in it.
Yes.
The last thing is what are their fears? Like what they are afraid about? Like what is the biggest fear that they might have? And we don't need to spend so much time with that. Like I'm afraid that. Acknowledge their fear of failure, acknowledge their fear of failure, acknowledge their fear of success, acknowledge their fear like what if it didn't work, acknowledge their fear. Also the other side, if I'm really afraid that I'm gonna stay in this place forever, and I don't want like giving you the example that you mentioned, I don't want to stay. This is a fear that 1 year from now I'm gonna be in the same place, in the same job, with the same salary, doing things that I hate for 1 more year.
Yes.
I don't want to do that.
No.
I don't want to do that. So I'm going to tell you, hey, like, aren't you afraid about that? So I'm raising awareness about the problem. I'm letting them, okay, now I'm aware of that. The last one, I think the most overlooked thing that people don't understand. And if you solve this thing, it's going to change like everything you do.
Okay.
And it's objections. Handle objections before they come. Don't wait till you are on the phone call and start handling objections. And that, by no means I'm saying you will never have objections on the phone.
Right.
I'm saying by handling objections in advance, you're gonna have a higher chance of having less people giving you the same exact objections every time. And how do you use that? Know in advance what are objections they are going to tell you. And if you are doing that right now, what are the objections that are coming all the time? If people say, I want to think about it, then you need to understand, okay, why they are saying that. why they are saying that.
Right.
If people are thinking it's too expensive, you wanna mention them, and you wanna in your copy or in your content, you need to handle those objections in advance.
Right.
Before they come. So people, when they come, they say, okay, now I'm aware of that. How you do that? You talk about the objections and acknowledge it.
Right.
I know that you're going to think about it. And you might be thinking this is expensive. And you might be thinking investing in a coach is not, it doesn't make sense. Or you might be thinking I'm going to figure it out myself.
Right.
Or you might be thinking that. Or you might be thinking that I will think about it for a while. I don't need to do it right now. Handle those objections in advance, because now again you are educating them, and this is by the way our job, because many people are trying to give how-to content, and don't get me wrong, you need to educate them.
Yes.
But if you educate how-to only, they are not going to take action, because you haven't changed their beliefs and their objections about the thing you are teaching, because they never take action, which is my point. They didn't take my stuff for free because I couldn't speak the same language. I couldn't change their beliefs about what I'm doing. I couldn't handle the objections in advance. And once I started to do that, everything shifted, because now they became, when they comes to me, now I know who needs my help, because I define those 10 points for them. I know exactly what they are thinking about. I know exactly what are their beliefs are. And guess what? The more you talk to people, the more this is like a life thing. This is not something like, I just gonna do it. And this is the biggest mistake also people make. They do the what you call avatar, whatever it is. I don't call that, but whatever they are doing it, and then they forget about it. They just think it's an exercise. It's a worksheet that I need to finish in order to go. It is not. I have this thing written in front of me, and every time I'm gonna write something, every time I'm gonna be in an interview, every time I'm gonna do something, I have to read them again. Yeah, I have to read it again and update it.
Yeah, 100%. It's very important to know who it is you're talking to, and these 10 points you gave here are completely fire, man. This is going to be this is what I think the title of the show is going to be centered around this, so to get people to come in for this specific section of it. It's fire. One of the things I like to do and like I was mentioning earlier about the podcasting is know, obviously you need to know who it is you're trying to talk to. And I mentioned the mompreneurs before. And when I'm doing the entrepreneurial coaching, I call it my 6 C's of entrepreneurship. And the very first C, it's that important, is clarity. And inside that clarity is probably half of these points. But I can guarantee you, now that I've chatted with you, all of these points are going to be in there, because they're, awesome. I mean, you're right. They're that important. If you can get the clarity around these things right here, man, everything else about what it is you're doing in your business, in your copy, in your content, in your coaching, whatever it is, will flow, I think, a lot easier, right?
Actually, I was in 2 minds to share it with you, Trace, but when I chatted with you before the podcast and said, you're going to give me practical things that my people are going to use. I want like some valuable thing, and said, yeah, let's give them this, because I was actually surprised that when I tell those to people, and the first time we talk, and they say, do I need to do all of this? I said, yes. If you do this, now you don't need to worry about content. Now you need, because people are going to say, what are you going to post tonight? Let me just see what Tracy is posting, what Khaled is posting.
Exactly right.
And then I going to see, and then I get, they are writing so good. And man, I'll tell you something. English is not my first language for you all. Okay. And I'm not the best writer ever. And I do that, and people can say, okay, and how do you do that? How do you write and use the metaphors and use the things and the stories you're doing and those kind of stuff? It's nothing but understanding those points.
Yes.
Because I understand. It's only about understanding. You don't need to be a rocket scientist. You don't need even to know how to write. Because some people, and this is another thing, some people, they like to talk in a podcast. Mm-hmm. This is, by the way, some people say, like, Khaled, you write very well. I don't know how to write. I say, don't try. What do you like to do? I like to speak. I say, okay, do a podcast.
There you go.
Facebook Live. Do that. Why don't you don't say because I see you're writing this and I want to write that. So don't write like me.
Yeah.
Don't worry about what I'm writing.
Be you.
Be you. Be what are the best things. So sometimes when I tell people about the stories, I like to write it. Some people say, but I don't like to write. I say, don't write it. Go share it. Start a podcast. Go to Tracy and tell me how can I do that?
Yeah, come on aboard.
And it is that simple. Like don't get fixated. I'm gonna use those 10 points only in my writing. No, you're gonna use them if you're going a Facebook Live. If you're going for a podcast, if you're doing the writing, even if you're talking to your clients, if you're talking, if you have a sales call, if you have, by the way, I know this is, I don't like to call it a sales call. I call it like it's more, I got the name even from Taki Moore. He's called it a fit call, or I like to call it even a qualification call, because you are actually seeing like, if this gonna is it gonna work? Where you are, right? And is this gonna work? Are we? Can I actually help you? Because most of the time, people go to the call and people teach that, and then gonna call it out. You're gonna have to close them on the first call. You're gonna have to close. If you don't close them in the first call, that means you didn't see the value on whatever you are doing. Right. That means you need to put like 10 million bonuses in your offer. And this is why they didn't buy your course, because you didn't say like, I have like 10 million bonuses there. Right. And people don't actually care about the bonus. If I'm going to the dentist, I actually don't care if you're going to give me a toothpaste or something as a bonus. I want the pain to stop. It wasn't pain to stop. If I know that you're going to solve my problem in a different way. Yeah. And another way, one of the things is about the thing in the 10 points, and understand what they have tried. This is so important. This is crucial, because most people, again, they are teaching the obvious. So if you're going to teach me the same thing that everyone is teaching and just put the promise bigger, it doesn't change anything to me. Right. Yeah. No, I hear you there. Whew. Man, I expected fire from you, but man, you're lighting up the microphone over here, and I want to be mindful of your time. And we've been just going at it here for over an hour now. Now, you did mention that you were going to have an offer for the folks. Is that still true? Yeah, sure. Okay. Go ahead. Yeah. So we would like to do those 10 points that I just mentioned. If anyone from your audience would like to come in a workshop that we're gonna help them to actually identify those 10 points for their specific audience, because I know many people are gonna say, okay, Khaled, I do that, and most things, because the people that the most coaches I work with are transformational coaches with mindset, performance, and they see that all the materials out there is about money making things, and they see it. It's I'm not sure like if this is actually gonna work with me. This is like, how am I gonna do that for people who are not, if the offer is not about making money, if it's like an intangible thing, it's not it's not just tangible thing. Ooh. So my offer that if anyone interested, I would like them to, we're gonna have a train. I haven't defined when it's gonna be. I'm just gonna see how people gonna come from your audience, and then we're gonna make a workshop, like you even to be invited there. Okay. And we do it. It's going to be practical. It's going to be implementation, that we're going to go through the 10 points with examples, with real life, and tell them step by step. Here's how to get the pain points. And I tell you like how actually to do it, like where actually to go and search and find if you like, if you don't want to talk about it. If you don't talk to someone specifically about it. That is awesome. All right. So if folks want to learn more about Khaled and all the things you're rocking and rolling with, where should we send them to? So my Facebook, my personal Facebook, it's Khaled Maziad, and my website also is khaledmaziad.com. Okay. Well, just make sure we get those links in the show notes so they can just click right over there and connect with you if they wanted to. Khaled, I definitely appreciate your time, man, hanging out and dropping all this amazing knowledge. I learned a lot tonight, and it's my show. This is awesome. My pleasure, man. I appreciate your time. Thanks so much. My pleasure. Thank you so much, Tracy, for having me.
All right, there you have it, my Dark Horse friends and family. Khaled Maziad dropping some knowledge bombs on us today. What thoughts resonated with you? Let me give you 4 that kind of stuck out for me, and there were so many, but I don't want to do a whole another hour worth of show just to share them with you. But here's a few that stuck with me. Thought number 1: it's not just enough to be good at your craft. Khaled reminds us that it's not just enough to be good at what it is you do. You need to be able to convey the value that you bring in what you do and how you do it. What value does what you do deliver to your prospects, to your customers, to your clients? You see, because knowing this is key. Let's step back here. Knowing how awesome you are at what it is you do, that's not just going to cut it. You're going to have to be able to convey that to the market, convey that value that they will get by working with you and using your product and using your service. Thought number 2, stop focusing on the product and focus on the pain. Khaled gave that great example when he shared his toothache story, an ache that he had ignored and had gotten to the point where he wasn't even able to speak, right? And then you're like a man, right? Finally, he goes into the dentist really with just the goal of ending the pain via some quick technique or maybe even just some medicine. But the dentist had to educate him on the cause of the pain and what the real solution was. And it wasn't medicine, right? As entrepreneurs, we need to focus on that pain that our prospects feel to get them into our sphere of influence, right? It is only then that we're able to educate them on the real solution that they seek, which is likely your product, your service. I'm going to dive a bit deeper into this in episode 199, how to communicate value to your prospects and customers. Now, thought number 3, there are patterns you need to watch for. Khaled, to me, has this mind for patterns, and I called this out after listening to his origin story. Really, if you think about it, getting into trading and being even mildly successful like that is a big clue. Then he shifted his pattern identification skill to looking at people patterns. And this clearly helps him better serve his clients and his prospects. Here's the thing. Patterns are everywhere, be they simple patterns like the 4 seasons we all see. Well, we see them here in Wisconsin. Certain areas of the country don't see all 4 seasons, right? Think about maybe the phases of the moon, right? Or the patterns that have to happen for you to feel loved. The patterns that make you feel mad or happy or sad, right? In business, big and small, there are a number of patterns that are out there that can help you and your business on your journey to success. And I'm going to chat a bit more about those in episode 200, common patterns that make your company successful. And finally, for me, thought number 4, be clear on what you're doing. Khaled shared a great point when he reminded us to be clear on what we are doing. You have heard me say this before, and I'm going to say it again. And just in case you're new to the Dark Horse Entrepreneur, or maybe you're not new to the Dark Horse Entrepreneur and you need a little reminding. Here it is. You need to have a STAR aim. STARAIM. Yeah, that's an acronym for subject, tribe, arrive, and reason, right? That's the STAR. And we'll get to the aim in a minute. But the S, what subject are you going to be a specialist at? Stop trying to be a jack of all trades. Narrow your focus and be an expert in that area. I want you to be bomb-ass great at it, right? Then T, who do you serve? Who is your tribe? T is your tribe. Who is that core group of people that you want your message to reach? Not everybody. That core group of folks that want to hear everything you have to say. Reach them and more will follow. Then A is arrive. Where are you taking them? Where are they going to arrive at as you take them on that journey? We're all on a journey. What leg of the journey are you taking your tribe through and to? And then finally R, that reason to resonate. Why the hell should they listen to you in the first place? Look, if you can't figure out these 4 easily and with conviction, stop. Stop right now. pause this, right? Do not pass go. Do not collect $200 until you do. You gotta know your star. And then your aim. This is your alluring, inspiring message. That message that you share with your tribe to pump them up, to get them fired up, to figure it out just like you did, or just like you do and are doing. See, you need to have this star aim. And when you have this star aim, I know you'll be well on the path to success that you desire and deserve. All right. Phew, got a little fired up there. All right. So here's the thing. What inspiring ideas or thoughts resonated with you? Whatever they were, whether they were mine or Khaled's, or if you listen to other episodes and this episode made you think of that, I want you to take a minute today and write them down. And then put them into action. Yeah, like you always hear me say, get out there, run your race, get your results, and come back here and let me hear about them. Seriously, email me at tracy@darkhorseschooling.com. Share the tips or ideas that you came away with, how you put them into action, and what results you gained from it. Heck, I'll probably even bring you on the show and let you share with the audience. And that's a win-win scenario, right? All right, so our next week's interview episode guest is none other than a man, Larry Hankin himself. Now, Larry's an actor, performer, director, comedian, and producer. He's known for his major film roles as Charlie Butts in Escape from Alcatraz. He was Ace in Running Scared. He was Carlos Alphonse in Billy Madison. He also played Larry. He was Doobie in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Sergeant Balzac in Home Alone, Mr. Heckles on the show Friends, and he also played Joe in Breaking Bad. All totaled, this man is a beast, right? Larry has, I think it's like 195 credits under his belt, covering 50 years, right? 5-0, man. Shoot, 5 decades, it's a long time. And there's a lot that we dark horses can learn from this long and ever-evolving career in and out of the movie business. Now, I know you want to keep getting these valuable tips and inspirational stories from these amazing guests I'm lucky enough to bring on the show. So please go on down there, hit that subscribe button. And while you're there, leave us a 5-star rating, write us a quick review, leave us some kind words, give us some suggestions for folks you think we should interview, topics we should cover, questions you want to ask. I read each and every one of those those reviews. And of course, do not keep all this entrepreneurial GOLD all to yourself. Share this podcast with other entrepreneurs and business owners that you know will get value from it. And with that, I'm going to leave you like I always do. Think successfully and take action.
Thank you for listening to the Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
And you know this!
Thanks for tuning in.
Check us out at www.darkhorseschooling.com.
All right.
My name is Tracy Brinkman.